Hay una revolución en América Latina.
Di era demokrasi saat ini, rakyat ingin adanya sebuah keterbukaan terhadap apa yang terjadi dalam pemerintahan, terutama dalam pengeluaran anggaran sebuah proyek. Di Amerika ada organisasi yang diberi nama Sunlight Foundation, yaitu untuk transparansi kegiatan pemerintah. Sekarang ada salah satu organisasi yang disebut dengan Sunlight Foundation yang membuat sebuah transparansi online bagi pemerintahan di Amerika. Nah, saat ini saya sudah bersama Liz di sini dan kita akan menanyakan lebih jelas apa sih maksudnya Sunlight Foundation itu. Okay, Liz, can you tell us about the Sunlight Foundation itself, when the Sunlight Foundation came up in America?
Sure. The Sunlight Foundation is a nonpartisan nonprofit. That means we're not affiliated with any government here in the United States. And we were founded in 2006, so we're a really young organization in terms of sort of how nonprofits are in the United States. And what we do is we believe in greater government transparency, and the key to that is having more information about our government being available online.
For the present day right now, what is your movement right now for the Sunlight Foundation itself? What kind of movement right now that you're working on? Right.
There's a real hunger for the type of work that we're doing here in the United States, and it stems across all levels of government. It comes from in Congress. Everyone wants to know, guns and immigration are really hot topics right now here in Congress, and people want to know sort of how is my member of Congress voting on that? What special interests might be giving money for what they're doing? How is the White House having these meetings around this? Who is at those meetings? Why are these people at these meetings? That's the type of information we provide on our websites, on our mobile apps, and our different tracking tools. At the local level, we're seeing a lot of bills coming up around the budget, around transportation, even around like school board elections. And we want to be able for anyone to find out what their government is doing as easy as they can, search for their friends on Facebook. So, across all levels of government, very local, at the municipal level, at the city level, to what's happening in their state legislatures, to even what's happening in the halls of Congress. That's what we're focusing on, and people are using our information. Transparency Camp is a really exciting thing. It was started by the Sunlight Foundation, and we actually have it every year here in Washington, D.C. And we also have spin-offs of it all around the United States and actually around the globe. And actually it's called an unconference. And we call it an unconference is because there's actually no agenda to it. We know we're going to be having it for 2 days. We know it's going to be in a certain city. It's going to be in Washington, D.C. This coming May. We know that over 500 people are going to attend.
500?
500 people.
Good.
I know, it's going to be our largest one yet. It started out with a group of 75. Now we're attracting over 500 people. And the thing we do know that's happening, we know they're really excited about open government. We know they're really excited about technology. And we know they're doing really, really great things in their particular workspace, whether they are a software developer, whether they are an elected official, whether they are a grassroots activist. So we bring all of these great people together with this great kind of brain trust. And they talk about the work they're doing and the change they're trying to make. So it might be creating a map to show where there might be vacant houses in your community. It might be using campaign finance data, mashing up with government contracts to see how campaign money will help a company do better business with the government. It might be creating a local activist group to get something to change locally. Maybe it's such as, getting our bike lanes painted green. When we bring these great minds together, we really have change happening in our communities. And the great thing about Transparency Camp as well, it's not just for U.S. citizens. We actually bring in people from around the world. Last year we had only over 20 people attend from around the globe that was able to tell their experiences working with their own governments, making change in their own countries, to tell how us in the U.S. can learn something too.
Sebuah kasus korupsi tidak akan terungkap di masyarakat tanpa ada peran dari seorang jurnalis atau wartawan. Ya pemirsa, saat ini saya ingin mengetahui mengenai antisipasi korupsi di Amerika. Dan saat ini saya akan berjumpa dengan salah satu orang yang merupakan organisasi dari Public Integrity, yakni Gordon Witkin, yang ternyata memang di dalam organisasi itu merupakan investigasi jurnalis. Seperti apa ya investigasi jurnalis untuk mengantisipasi korupsi ini? Kita lihat. Gordon Witkin, seorang jurnalis investigasi yang saat ini kerjasama dengan satu organisasi berita investigasi. Ya, pemirsa, saat ini saya sudah bersama dengan salah seorang former jurnalis yang saat ini membuat sebuah organisasi yang disebut dengan The Center for Public Integrity. Nah, isi dari The Center for Public Integrity sendiri ini apa? Apakah ada hubungannya dengan mengantisipasi sebuah korupsi di Amerika? Mari kita langsung tanya beberapa pertanyaan kepada salah satu anggota dari The Center for Public Integrity, Gordon Witkin. The Center for Public Integrity itself, what is the vision of the Center for Public Integrity and the purpose of it?
Mm-hmm. The center's been around for about 25 years. We're a not-for-profit group focused on investigative journalism. We're supported by foundations and individuals who are interested in investigative journalism. And what we try to do is do the kind of long-form, in-depth investigative journalism that is sadly disappearing from American newspapers, which are having such a difficult time financially. As a not-for-profit group, this is our mission. We're focused on in-depth investigative stories.
Since this is a journalist investigation, what is the hardest part of the hardest case that have been investigated from Center for Public Integrity itself?
Well, what we try to do is focus on a lot, since we're in Washington, on government spending. And we look at how the government is spending money and the way the process of spending money is sometimes subverted by special interest lobbying and by the giving of lots of money to American politicians' campaigns. And this involves a lot of very deep, sometimes boring work, looking at exactly who's given what to whose campaign, exactly who's lobbying on what issue. So we do a lot of work with records, and we do a lot of work as well looking at giant vats of federal data, trying to discover stories within that data. The more transparent the government is, the better. And there is an ability sometimes to shame public officials by saying, why aren't you disclosing your salary? Why aren't you disclosing your spouse's salary? Why aren't you disclosing who gives to your campaigns? Why don't you have a database of all government contracts and exactly who got them? And by shining a light on this sort of data and by pushing for more transparency and more disclosure, that is, we believe, a starting point to root out corruption and to make corruption more unlikely in the first